But anywho, moving on, working on doing my Oscar homework, and I was looking for something to in the middle of this move, looking for something, a short movie to watch, and I jumped on Blue Moon, which Ethan Hawke is nominated for Best Actor for. And it's very good. It's very, very good. It's a character, I would say, a character drama for musical theater nerds. I'm a big fan. I'm a sucker for a good musical, so a lot of the little references in there worked really, really well for me. There's a lot of subtle little cameos from famous either writers or musicians that were sort of coming to fruition at that time. And it's sort of nice. It's like, oh, I think this is this person, or it's like, oh, this is this person. Like you got E.B. White and Little Steven, Sondheim. There was one George Hill who it's like, oh, this has got to be someone. Let's look him up, and it's the guy who directed Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. Now, I doubt essentially the film is about Ethan Hawke is playing Lorenz Hart, who is Rogers of the Rogers from Robert Rogers and Hammerstein. He was the original partner, and they eventually split ways, and Rogers became Rogers and Hammerstein, and Hart kind of fades away. And what the movie is really, it's very much a character piece about a lonely, eccentric artist who feels left behind by his partner, and it's a beautiful performance by Ethan Hawke. The movie does not work without him. He essentially is the movie. Most of the dialogue and most of the screen time is his. It's obviously not it's as close to a one-man show as you can possibly get. And I'm kind of he definitely earned that nomination, and I'm kind of rooting for him. And he just plays hard as this sort of likable, but also kind of judgy and annoying, sort of eccentric, and with a bit of alcoholism thrown in. And it's sort of clear why the sort of people in his life sort of like walk away a little bit. He's kind of his own worst enemy, pushes a little too hard, and ends up paying for it in the end. And it's as an audience, I personally, from my perspective, I liked the guy, but also he's it's like, man, it's like this guy it'd be fun to hang around with for a little bit, but then he'd get really, really kind of irritating. What is this? Shoe cat. So it's really, really great performance. The other thing that this film does very well is have basically a debate about the arts. And you've got sort of this people like Rogers who loved sort of nostalgic art, where you've got sort of this happy endings and things are good and there's fluffy and nice. And Hart is more in the he's like sort of the cynical guy. He likes everything to have an edge, and it's sort of this contrarian. If it's super duper popular, then there's got to be something kind of wrong with it, and it's somehow false. And there's a couple really good back and forths between him and Rogers about this topic. And Rogers makes the point of there's a lot of people who love. It takes place on the night of the release of Oklahoma. It's like the audience loves this stuff, and particularly in hard times, nostalgic art is necessary. But I would say, like, if you know a lot of artists or filmmakers, a lot of them have that more sort of cynical edge, where there's a lot of them. It's like I want it to be edgy. I want it to sort of be a little bit cutting and biting, and that's where the real art is at. And the film makes I think a good argument for both. for both cases. Um, and it's asks that question of what is real art. And the other sort of another interesting element, the film is sort of unclear about whether this character is. It's definitely insinuated that he could be either gay or bi. The entire film he spends pining after Margaret Qualley. And it seems my read on it is it's not so much that he's into her in terms of in romantically. It's just she's a very beautiful woman, and he just like whether it be in writing or art or in people, he just likes beautiful things and gravitates towards towards those things. But I will say the best scene for me, and I think any dude can relate to this scene, is when she gives him the I like you but not in that way comparison, and Hawk's reaction and response to that is absolutely soul crushing. And if you've ever been on, and I'm sure most men have been on the other end of that conversation, it's just an absolute sort of gut punch of a scene. So if you're a fan of, my personal score on this one is 4 out of 5. It's definitely got Oscar bait vibes to it, but it's good. It's good Oscar bait. It's good Oscar bait. It's a good character study, and particularly if you are a fan of musical theater or live theater of any kind, it's going to have something in there for you. So I definitely recommend it. It's a sort of a brisk 90 minutes. In a world where things tend to go over long, this one does not overstay its welcome. And it kind of has a little bit of a vibe of it could be a stage play. Like you could take this script, adapt it for the stage, and it would work just as well on the stage. So Linklater made another good film here, and it's worth. I would say it's worth checking out. It's worth checking out for sure. And the cat's finally gonna let me keep going. So yes, Blue Moon, check it out. Very good movie, great performance. And I know Chalamet seems to be the favorite this year for Best Actor, but I still have yet to see Marty Supreme. I like Chalamet. I think he's a good actor, but he's also very, very young, and he's going to have lots of other opportunities to win this thing. And I don't know that winning a Best Actor young it doesn't necessarily work out so well. You can ask, I think, Brie Larson that question. Did not end up working out so well for her. It kind of seemed to go right to her head. And when something like that goes to your head, you can end up making some poor creative decisions, or just getting a little too big for your britches publicly. So right now I'm rooting for Ethan Hawke. I think the film doesn't work without him, and he's got a history of turning in great performances. So I would love to see him get it. I would love to see him get it this time. He's quite charming.